Blues in the key of G. Yes, my shirt is covered in bow ties. So we're doing this in the style Albert King, and Albert was a really, really good guitar player. You probably knew that, but one thing Albert did was he didn't limit himself to just the blues scale. And the blues scale sounds great when you're playing blues, obviously. Taking that minor pentatonic and adding the flat fifth gives it a lot of dimension. But there's more that we can do than that. And you probably maybe know about the hammer-on the major third. And if not, you're probably at least blues curling that. But there's still more than we can do. So we're working from the shape 1. Well, it's part of shape 5 up here. 1, 3, 1, 3. Shape 1, home row, which when you're playing a blues solo, the first thing to do is figure out shape 1 of the minor pentatonic. 3, 6, 3, 5, 3, 5, 3, 5, 3, 6, 3, 6. 4th fret of the A string. 6th fret of the G string, you have the flat fifths. We got this extension, which gets into shape 2, which is going to be 5, 7, and then you're going to hit 6, 8, 6, 8. We're also going to get up here into shape 3 a little bit, just a tiny bit, and that is 10, 8, 11, 8, 10, 7. Now notice that when I left shape 1, a lot of what I was doing was on the G, B, and E string. That's pretty common because I'll get my solo going here emotionally and then I'll build energy down here. Having said that, we're starting in that energy building zone with this solo. 8th fret of the B string on the and. 1 and. And if you're just learning to play a solo, you can get a lot of mileage out of not starting on the 1. 1 and. That's a cool trick. 1 and 2. A whole step. So you're bending this C note to this D note. Coming down, and then 6 hammer 7 to 8. And there's our first little trick. Shape 1. Here, the second note on the E string is your minor third. So if you're over the 1 chord, meaning blues in G, the G chord, if it were blues in E flat, the 1 would be E flat. You can hammer on a half step over that chord. So blues in G, when the G chord's happening, you can hammer on shape 1, that note, up a half step. So we go 6, hammer 7, and then back to 8th fret of the B string. This 8th fret of the B string as well, good to know, is a B note, A note, G note. It is our root note. Great for resolution. So that first lick, 1 and 2, 3, 4 and. Oops, bent the wrong one. Beep. That little baby lick, even if you just take just that from this lesson, you can get a lot of mileage just out of just that one lick. You can also slide into it. Okay, so good things happen right there. Now we're going to repeat this kind of motif idea, and we're going to come back 8th fret here on the and then we are going to bend the 8th fret up a whole step. 8th fret up a whole step. 6 hammer 7. 8. 1 and 2, 3, 4 and. On the 1, you're going to let that ring out 1 and. So 1 and 5th fret back up to the 8. Now this 5th fret is not in our scale. Major pentatonic. If you make a G major chord, you're going to see that this finger here is playing these two notes. Here's a smaller G shape. 5, 4, 3, 3. Here with this shape, you have major pentatonic up a whole step from each of those. So 3, 5, 3, 5. Meaning with the minor pentatonic here on these strings, you have the major pentatonic one note below on both of those strings. So we are rocking this note right here, and this note right here just happens to be an E note, which is the 6th interval, giving it kind of this cool country rock sound. That note right there, the major pentatonic, you can hit that one over the 1 chord. You can hit that one over the 4 chord. You can hit that one over the 5 chord. So you can play that one anytime you want in your solo. And it sounds really, really nice. Check out this phrase. Accidentally hit it one more time. Let's play it correctly. 1 and 2, 3, 4 and 1 and 2 and. All right, and I went with the pinky, but if you get your ring finger on, you get some vibrato. These 4 measures: 1 and 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and. Okay, then the harmony goes to the C7, and we're over measure 5. We're going back to this bend here on this 8th fret, and 8th fret bending up to 9. So this is still minor. Minor pentatonic. The D note makes the C7 a C9. Cool funk sound. 1, bend that up. 2, 3, and then on the 4th beat we're going to bend it up, and then on the 1 we're going to pluck it again and bend it down. Oops, we get. These bends are also a little unique because we're going to bend 1, 2, 3, and then on the 4th one we're going to bend up, but while it's up high we're going to pluck it again and release. And then you're going to slide, 8 to 10. So we get. Pretty cool phrase. And that's all happening over the C7, and we're still 100% in the minor at that time. Do 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 do. Shape 2. Shape 3. Okay, now we go back to the G7, and we're going to bend 8 up again. And then while it's up there, we're going to pluck it and release it again. And then we are going to 6 hammer 7 to the 8. Seven, 5, 8. So that 5th fret again, that's our major. All right, so far, this has really been the note that we've hit the most, and it's right inside shape 1. But the other one is that major 3rd here on the A string, or on the high E string. All right, turnaround time. Let's have some fun here. We're gonna bend up 6, a quarter tone. And we're gonna go 3, 5. Now, another note in our major scale, the 5th fret here. Doot, 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 doot. Over this G, this is a G note, and by playing this A note, it makes this G a G9. And gives it some funk. So you can always play the note 1 whole step above the root. If it's G, whole step would be A. So that's what we're doing here. Bend. Quarter bend, 3, 5, 6, 3. So we get, and that is playing over the D. This note here, 3rd fret, is a D note. So sometimes I think an easier way to think about it is if you think of shape 1, this note here in the shape is the root note of the 5 chord. So when this chord comes around, no matter what key you're in, this shape, you can play that note over the 5 chord, and it's going to play the root, and it's going to sound great. So within all of these shapes, I kind of have areas within the shape that I know are going to sound good and go with the chords as the chords change. So I can play with the changes a little more and make my solo sound more melodic. All right, the next phrase. All minor vocabulary, and this one's happening over the C7, and it sounds great. 5th fret of the G string. We're going to go 5, 3, down, 5, 3, back up 5, little bend, and then 3. This 5th fret here is our C note. So we're finishing on a B flat, which is the note that makes the C a C7, which is another good lesson. You don't always need to land on the root to resolve an idea. By landing on the flat 7th, you can use any chord tone, and every chord tone is going to give you a little different feel. But by landing on the flat 7th, it creates this kind of sense of familiar instability, something that sounds good over the C, but also it wants to move. 1 and 2, pull up 3 and 1 and 2, pull up 3 and. All right, and then this part is really where the major comes through and shines. And that one phrase I was inspired by Stormy Monday, T-Bone Walker. So it's going to do 5, 2, 5. Thinking of our minor scale, this 2 right here is the major scale. And you always have that, especially over the 1 chord. And what that is the 6 again. That 6, that country sound. Country rock, southern rock really. Triple-la, then 2, 5, 2, triple-la, boom. There, we're back into the minor pentatonic, and we go 3, 5, 2, 5, 2, 5. This 2 here is the same as this note here. It's the 9th interval, or the one that is a note above the root. Sounds great. Again, major, but sounds great. So you get. Do, 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 do. And by going from that minor 3rd to the 9th, we have this cool chromatic idea. So we get 1, 2, pola, 3, pola, 4, pola, 1, pola, 2, 3. 1. And that is the whole solo. Why don't we go ahead and try to jam it out to a backing track?